And our final reader today from the underclassmen division, sophomore Jackson Shembekar, reading his essay entitled The Pool Table, the Map, and the Pins.
My dad was a great guy. He came to America from India when he was a kid, along with my grandparents. He worked hard in school, learning the English language, becoming top of his class, and even playing basketball and football throughout college. He also met my mom in college, and they both continued on to be very successful. They both traveled the world and pursued public speaking, which in turn requires lots of time and energy. Soon later, my mom had her first baby, me. She wanted to be there for me, so she decided to give up everything to raise me, and let my dad continue to travel and provide for our family. As I got older, I began to understand all of the great sacrifices he made being away from his family. Therefore, a tradition was born. Whenever he would come home from his business trips, we would play a game of pool, and to the right of the pool table was a map. The map was filled with red pins. Each red pin represented a place he had traveled to, and there was one blue pin. This was a special pin because it represented the next destination he was headed to for work. So whenever he would come home, we would play a game of pool, place a red pin on the map, and move the blue pin to a new location. As a kid, this was amazing to me. The map began to fill up with red pins, and I knew where every single one was, all 178 of them. One day, my dad came home from a trip to Paris. He was gone for 2 weeks, and I was thrilled to see him. When he walked in the door, I gave him a hug, and we began to walk upstairs to start our habitual game of pool. After 10 minutes, I lost like usual, and we approached the map. We grabbed a red pin, and together pressed it into the center of Paris, and moved the blue pin that used to be there to Dubai, the next location. Even after pressing in those pins 179 times, it never got old. The simple action of pressing a red pin into the map represented the unbreakable bond that I will always have with my dad. Later that night, my parents asked me if they could talk to me about something serious. I was only 8 years old at the time, and nothing could prepare me for the words I was about to hear that night. They both said in unison, "Jackson, we are getting a divorce." My heart sunk, and as an 8-year-old, I didn't fully understand what those words meant, but I knew they weren't good. Little did I know that my unbreakable bond with my dad was shattered in that moment. Now, 7 years later, I have forgotten how to play pool, and there are still 179 pins on the map, with a special blue pin on Dubai. Thank you.